After all of our hard work of sowing lots of seeds, finally the sun is out and it's time to be potting on, potting up, or even planting out. Having lots and lots of really happy seedlings is a really good feeling. However, it's definitely time to be potting these on. Now, this will actually include things like your tomatoes, your chilies, your aubergines, anything that you've actually already sown and have already got as well their true leaves. So if we're thinking about something like tomatoes, you have your first two leaves and then you get your true leaves, which are these beautiful foliage that we see here. Now, these ones are a little bit leggy, they're not too bad, but actually tomatoes are really clever because they have on them these little hairs which are known as the trichomes. Now, these trichomes do a number of things. They actually help to transport nutrients and water into the plant, but also if you have really leggy seedlings, and as I say, these aren't too bad, but I have seen worse, then you just need to do something very clever when you come to potting up. Now, I have a lot of tomatoes, so I'm going to box a little bit clever here. I have all my pots which are reused from last year and the year before and the year before. So just as I've done before, I'm just going to fill up my pot with some lovely peat-free compost, and actually these seedlings grew in the same multi-purpose peat-free compost, perfectly good and lots and lots of nutrients. They just need a bit more space now. Now, once I've actually done that, I'm just going to squash down my peat-free compost, and then I'm just going to, with my finger, no gloves on this one because actually you need to be feeling what you're doing. You can by all means put on some like surgical gloves so you can feel. I'm just going to put a hole right down the middle. Now, with my tomato seedlings, I'm just going to squeeze the pot a little bit and then just tip it on its side because I want to see those roots, but I don't want to disturb them too much, and that's actually looking quite beautiful. Now, what you'll notice is actually the compost is just sort of melting away, and I'm just going to tease these roots apart ever so carefully. And what I want to be doing is, with that hole that I've put into my pot, I want to just push that root down the bottom. Now, really, you need to be trying to hold the leaves rather than the actual stem itself. And I'm just going to push that right the way down and then just backfill around the actual plant itself and then push it down. Now, what you can see is, compared to the other seedlings which I haven't potted on yet, I have actually put that quite deep down. So have a look at how long those are and how long this plant is. There's quite a difference. And what those little trichomes will do is they will send out roots, and they will really make this plant happy and more established and much more stable as well. Once those roots have formed from those trichomes, what will also happen is, of course, all that water and nutrients will be fed into the plant itself. Now, I know I also have this rather bendy looking seedling here. It's sort of gone its own little way, but that's not a problem either. Even if I had accidentally pulled the roots off, all I'd need to do is, again, because of those trichomes, is just make sure that I put that really deep down. I can straighten it up with the compost around it, so that, again, I'm going to create a nice sturdy tomato plant. And there we are. You can't see the bend in that stem at all now. It's actually going to be very happy. Now, all I need to do with these is obviously give them a good water, so I can water them in from the top. Don't saturate them. And then I'm going to make sure that they are in some sort of container so I can then water from the bottom. Now, these will actually be perfectly safe inside my greenhouse at this time of year. You notice I'm not actually doing this in the greenhouse because I'm being kind to myself. It's going to be way too hot. Now, you do have to make sure, and I've actually just discovered this in my greenhouse because I've removed my shed, exposed the side which hadn't been exposed before, and it's meant that the sun has really scorched some of my seedlings in there. Now, I am going to be taking these home purely and simply because I know I have a couple of really busy weeks coming up, and I'm not necessarily going to be down here every single day to water them, and I want to make sure that these little tomato plant babies are really happy. As I say, same with a lot of your other plants. The only difference is things like your chilies, even though they are part of the nightshade family as well, won't have these trichomes on the side. You can still pot them on a bit deeper. It's not going to harm them or cause them any damage, but they're not going to do the same thing as our tomatoes. So lots and lots to do. I'm going to get these watered up, get them potted up, and then I'm going to take them all home. Beautiful seedlings. Start getting them potted up if you haven't already.